Alright, so welcome back to my Ayrton Senna driver career mode here in Formula 1 2024, the video game. This is round number 13 at Singapore. Now, looking at the standings, we have 4 rounds remaining, no more sprint races, and I lead the championship by 25 points. This has a potential to go to the final race of the season, and honestly, I'd quite like that. That'd be a good final showdown, and in the Constructors, we are currently leading by 29. So both championships still very much at play for both McLaren and Red Bull Racing. So without further ado, let's get to qualifying at one of my favourite tracks, Singapore. Alright, so welcome to qualifying. Just want to say before I actually get started, if you could please like the video, because it is incredibly useful to my videos. And also, the fastest lap time at the moment is a 25.7, I believe, from Fernando Alonso, who is 0.3 of a second faster than P2 Max Verstappen. So let's see how close we can get to that, although that is a very, very strong lap time, and I'm already getting oversteer, which it's just not what you want to see, is it? Get right up to the wall, nice and brave. Of course, I can just use a flashback if I muck it up, so it ain't really bravery at all. It's just driving as fast as I can with no consequence, but we do set the fastest Sector 1. Okay. And that wasn't, you know, brilliant, so maybe this car's got some serious pace in it. Now approaching the end of Sector 2, it's a 2.5 by Gasly. I go and put in a 1.8. Oh, okay, so I'm 0.6 of a second up through Sector 2. That doesn't really mean anything because the Alpines are obviously quite slow. But, you know, this car seems very quick. It is difficult to drive, and this has been a relatively mediocre lap, but, you know, this lap time doesn't seem to be too bad. We crossed the line. Hey, that's pretty good. We're ahead of my title rival, 2 tenths behind the fastest car on the grid, probably the fastest driver on the grid at the moment. And that lap was also pretty smelly, so honestly, all things considered, I am more than pleased with that lap time. And here we go then, my final run in qualifying here at Singapore. Let's make it a good, and as you can see, I've now actually dropped down to P3. And I'm still the same gap behind Alonso, about 2.5 tenths. Of course, Alonso still hasn't finished his second run, so he might actually improve. Round turn 1 and 2, I've gone a little bit wide, but if I can avoid my oversteer, oh yes, okay. Found a little bit of time now through here. Turning a bit earlier, get on the exit. Oh, I think I clipped the wall a little bit there, but we'll carry on. Oh, I got scarily close to the wall then. That was almost the end of my life. But I'm still finding time now. We have the difficult technical section of Sector 2. And that was very, very nice. On the brakes, trying to avoid that inside curb. Bit of oversteer. Get on the power. Alright, Alpine, can you please move? Thank you very much. You legend. Finding even more time now, 3.5 tenths up, although I don't know what the rest of the field's doing. As you can see, I've actually dropped down to P6 with Russell and Stroll going ahead. So I need a big Sector 3, a little bit earlier on the brakes. That was nice. Right at the curb, right up against the wall. This lap has been pretty good, but I don't know if it's good enough for a decent position. We crossed the line. What's it going to be? Huh. It's not bad by any means. I mean, second row. Yeah, you know, no, we take that. No, we do actually take that. Now I've seen the gap to the cars ahead. That's fine. Also, Lando Norris. Oh, come on. Second row lockout for McLaren. You don't really see that these days. Usually it's Lando being like P8 or P9, but that's a really nice lap by him. But yeah, seeing that I was actually 1.5 tenths away from P2 makes me a little bit happier about my position. That was, I wouldn't say the absolute best lap time I could have done, but I wasn't going to find an extra 1.5 tenths. So P3 was the maximum, and that's what I got. More importantly as well, the Red Bulls having a bit of a stinker. Now, of course, Singapore is very, very tricky for overtaking. So this is a very good thing, and this is an even better thing. So let's get to race day. And let's not only extend our Drivers' Championship lead, but let's try and extend our Constructors' Championship lead as well. And welcome to Race Day, the Formula 1 Singapore Airlines Singapore Grand Prix 2024, based in Singapore at the Singapore track in Singapore. Quality how that works. It's nice and dry now. For some reason, Singapore is definitely the most common, wet race location. I remember on F123, over 3/4 of races I'd done at this track was in the wet. Luckily for me, though, we're going to be bone dry for this race, which is extremely important because, well, let's just say my wet weather ability isn't too top-notch. Now, the strategies look like this. We can either run a soft to medium or a medium to hard. They have about the exact same projected race time. Now, the softs do say that we're going to be a little bit quicker, but if we take a look at the lap times, as you can see, so we start in about the 1 minute 29s, but by the end, we'll be doing, 1 minute 33s. Whereas if we go to this strategy, we'll be doing 1 minute 30s, but then the highest lap time is about a 32. So the medium, this strategy offers a lot more consistency. This strategy is more give it the beans. Now I've decided I'm going to go for the soft to medium strategy because strategies don't really matter in this game, to be honest. You can run a hard, medium, soft and you'll still do as well. And without further ado, let's start round number 13 at Singapore. And here we go. Let's get a decent start for the first time on this year's game. And we are off, and that is a pretty good start. Alonso has a stinker. I am already alongside. I'm already ahead. Alonso, you're gone. Old retired wash, please retire. Okay. Round turn 3. Massive oversteer. That's not what you want to see off the start. Of course, my tyres are a little bit cold, so that's why that's happening. But that is a, unbelievable start by my standards. I need to try and defend from Alonso into turn 4. I don't even know. Round sector 1, and we are good. Okay, and as you can see, look at the gap already between Alonso and P4. It's already 1.6 seconds through the first sector, so they obviously must have been doing some scrapping. Now, as much as I'd like to stick with Leclerc, stay within the DRS and sort of get dragged along, I don't think that's going to happen because from the early sides, my race pace doesn't seem too brilliant. Alright, and there's the end of lap 1. 1 place gained. I am still within a second of Leclerc, but my golly gosh, he is fast. I'm sort of hoping that as my soft sides warm up a little bit, chuck them in a sauna for a few minutes, I'm able to be a lot more competitive, and that seems to be the case. I am catching up, of course, I do have that DRS on, but I'm more concerned about defending from Alonso than I am attacking Leclerc. I don't, Alonso is more of a threat at the moment, you know what I mean? Also, Lando Norris, I didn't even realise until now, is on a massive fall-off. Of course, started 4th in this race, is currently not in the top 5. I don't know if he's P6 or P7, but yeah, not the race start you want to see from Lando. But it ain't the end of the world. I believe he is actually currently in P6, and he's still ahead of both Red Bulls, so it ain't the end of the world. Fastest lap for Ayrton Senna. Leclerc is just starting to get reeled in. He seems slower now compared to before. I assume my tyres have warmed up now. Let's have a look. Oh yes, that's lovely. And of course, keep in mind, I am on the softer compound of tyres, so I should be faster regardless. I'm still being careful of Alonso though, because his straight line speed is very nice. I'm a little bit too far back from Charlie to go for a move on this occasion, but if I can get within maybe half a second to 4/10 on the exit of the corner before the DRS straight, I could probably get by here, but I don't know if I want to. It is very easy to defend around here, but of course I'll be in front with 2 very fast cars behind with DRS. I don't know if I'll be able to defend, and I could lose both positions, so I'm just going to chill for now and manage me tyres. Okay, sit rep. I'm still chilling behind Charlie, just staying ahead of Fernando Alonso, and I was actually planning on going for an overtake on this next lap, but I have fallen off a little bit. I had a massive snap of oversteer on the exit of a hairpin, and yeah, the car isn't too brilliant now. As you can see, it's very, very difficult to drive. But, and there is a but, I've got a lot of ERS to go through, so it ain't over yet. Alright, this has no longer become a battle to try and catch Leclerc because, yeah, this car's... You know when, like, your tyres get to that point where it's almost like actually dangerous driving. It's gotten to that point. I've now dropped out of the DRS of Leclerc. I need to stop, like, now. And actually, we have a yellow flag somewhere. Oh. I think there was an Alpine that just went off, like, last lap, and we just caught up to them. Poor lad. Right, this is the first lap of this race where I don't have DRS, so let's see if I can defend from Fernando Alonso. I think I would rather the outside line for this corner, because if I... Okay, I don't even need to, but if we go wheel-to-wheel through here, then I will have the inside line through here. Yeah, okay, I might do that if he actually goes on the attack in the next couple of laps. But when are we actually stopping? Lap 9. Ugh, that's not great. I think I'm actually going to stop on this lap, because, yeah, this isn't working anymore. Right, my in-lap has been pretty decent. I had a strong final sector, and as you can see, Fernando Alonso is actually staying out, so hopefully I can get the undercut there. Now, good stop time, please, and will I come out in traffic? Oh, I think I will. Okay, well, the stop time is pretty good, 2.4 seconds. That is, well, actually better than the estimated stop time, so yeah. And it looks like I am going to have a decent amount of clear air, apart from this random... Is that a Williams or an RB? I think that's a Williams. It is a Williams. They're actually going to be in front of me, but not by much. That is fine. And so I come out in some nice clear air. Now I need a very strong outlap. Actual hammer time moment. So that I can hopefully come out with a further gap to Fernando Alonso. And maybe get ahead of Charlie, but it's going to be a tall order to do that. And I've just had the strangest, you know, mid-race objective I've had so far on this game. Achieve P17. What does that even mean? Like, I thought it was like, you have to overtake the car ahead, not just achieve P17, but that shouldn't be too bad. This is a Williams on old stuff, so they are going to block me a little bit here. I might just have to send it up the inside, which I'm going to. A Sergio Perez 2023 moment, where he actually clarted into a Williams, I think, but I made the move cleanly. Very nice overtake, and I get a nice bit of DRS on the exit. Alright, so I believe Fernando Alonso is going to pit on this lap. Let's have a little look in the bottom left, as I need to do this corner first, and no, he actually... Oh, excuse me. He actually stays out again. That is an interesting call from Aston Martin, because he's clearly losing a lot of time to Leclerc. And I have definitely already undercut him, despite my car feeling absolutely terrible on these medium tyres. It feels like the softs, when they were worn, it's really bad. And as I say that, I then go and take the fastest lap of the race. So, who knows, really? Next up on my overtaking list is Alexander Albon. He has no DRS. He's actually going to completely block me off, which I don't think the stewards would be too happy about that one. I can simply outbrake him there, but that was very dodgy by the AI and Alexander Albon. He's a crap driver in real life, and in the game, he's still a crap driver, but he's also violent. I'm not too much of a fan of that. Next up is Daniel Ricciardo. I think I'm going to do the same thing as I did the other Williams, which is just send it up the inside, and that hasn't worked at all, to be honest. Ricciardo just didn't give me the space. Okay, let's try that again with DRS down the inside. There we go. Thank you. Oh! Almost on Lando Norris. Okay, that was a bit dodgy, but we move. And actually, Leclerc and both Leclerc and Alonso have stopped on the same lap, even though they're on different tyres. That is interesting. So let's see where I come out. Okay, I think I will take this P1. And I do. There it is. That is lovely. Ricciardo almost ruins it by being a bit of a moron. But I have managed to take the P1 by some distance as well. As Norris takes the fastest lap. Maybe he can get an undercut going as well. And he doesn't. I don't know how you've managed that, Lando, but whatever. You've actually managed to lose a place to a Red Bull. How have you done that? I have no idea. What I do know is that I now have a 5.7 second lead over Leclerc, who has stopped for hard tyres. Alonso actually gets ahead of him through the pits. He's now 4 seconds back on mediums. Okay, this could be tricky. I am pushing this car way harder than it should ever be pushed, which, yeah, I am managing to hold off Alonso for now. He is catching by about 0.2 of a second a lap, which, going by that, I should be able to hold him off until the end of this race. But I'm just kind of concerned about my tyres falling off near the end of the race. Of course, Alonso has 2 lap fresher tyres, which in a 22 lap race is actually quite significant. Right, well, I don't know whether I've stepped up my driving or if Alonso started to slow down a little bit, but he isn't catching at nearly the same rate he was a couple of laps ago. Rather than 0.4 to half a second a lap, it's now like 0.1, and it's actually sector 1 where I'm actually starting to pull away a little bit. So we've got what, 5-6 laps left. I reckon I can do this. Alright, 3 laps remaining in this race. I am seriously cooking. Gap to Alonso, as you can see, 2.4 seconds. I've got this, really. There is surely no way that I bottle this. I have no idea where Lando Norris currently is in this race. It's pretty difficult to tell. I think he's currently in P6, which isn't too bad, but one of the Red Bulls, and if you had to guess which Red Bull would cut through the field and finish ahead of the other, you would obviously say Verstappen, but no, it's actually Checo in this case that is currently ahead into P5. So if it stays like this, we would gain pretty big in both championships, seeing as Verstappen is currently like P8. 2 laps remaining, and this is where my, increase in tyre there compared to Alonso could ruin everything. The car is already on its last strings. It's very difficult, which you'd expect, since the tyres are so old now. I don't know, 2.8 seconds is a lot. And it hasn't really gone down in sort of the last 8 laps. This is a really good drive from an Ayrton Senna at the moment. And here we go, the final lap. What an absolute snooze fest this race has been. Now, for me actually driving, it's been almost the opposite of that, because I've had to stay extremely locked so I can stay nice and fast and consistent so Alonso doesn't catch me. But, when you look at the broad scheme of it, I started 3rd, went up to 2nd off the line, undercut, Leclerc, got into P1, and then just sort of stayed in P1. But the actual act of doing that has been extremely difficult, and I am very pleased with how I've driven today. Given the fact it's a street circuit and all that, I have been very, very nice. I mean, consistency is one thing I like when it comes to pretty much anything, but especially motor racing. And yet, I'd say I've maybe had 1 or 2 small errors, and that's about it. There's another one. As I say that, I still don't know why I say these things. Every time I say something like that, everything goes wrong. But to be honest, this could actually be a championship winning race, because my gap after this to Verstappen is going to be like 35 plus points with 3 races left. And here we come around the final corner. And what a performance from Fat Krim. I love that. That was really, really nice. Well done, Ayrton Senna, for copying my actions. So when I turn the wheel, you also turn the wheel, and winning the race. Well done. Alright, so here's your final finishing order. Ayrton Senna, P3 to P1. That is an unbelievably good performance, given how far away I was in qualifying. To come through and actually win, that's very, very good. Fernando Alonso finishes 2nd after starting 1st. Yeah, not bad. Wait, he started 1st? Oh yeah, he did. I remember now, because me and Leclerc both went round the outside into turn 1, or the inside rather. And now, look at this. So Sergio Perez goes from P8 to P5, so he secures 10 points for Red Bull. Max Verstappen, only P8, loses a place from where he started and picks up 4 points. Lando Norris starts P4, loses 3 places down to P7, does get the fastest lap though, so we'll be picking up 32 points from today's race. Meanwhile, Red Bull get what? 14. So the standings now look like this. Like I said, that is a title-winning race, because going in to the next race at Mexico... Wait, no, there's 3 races left, isn't there? Okay, yeah, I was going to say, if I out-race Verstappen in that race, I'll win the championship, and of course, there's still, you know, two other races left, so forget what I said. In the Constructors, we now lead by 47 points as well, so, you know, 46, 47, that's very nice. And yeah, I need to go have a breather, because my brain is fried from having to concentrate so hard on driving the Formula 1 car. But yeah, that's going to be all from me today. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1.4k by the end of the year. And I will see you lot in my next video. Goodbye.
I promise I'll always be there. I'll remind you when you close your eyes.